Hey, it's MK, and I am here for a Woodgrain and Winter layout for you guys today. I am also playing along with Day 22's SAR style advent calendar, and today's pieces are a couple title pieces that match previous pieces that we have received in the month. So I've got a travel saying that was perfect for the transportation images. I have the Explorer that is absolutely perfect for the scenery pieces. And then, of course, I have the wave that was perfect for the beach pieces. And then a super cute one that says, this is where I am, this is where I want to be. And in the middle, it says, how do we get there? So I thought that was kind of cool as well for a travel theme. I've also got some of my tall trees that are all broken, you guys, because when I put them in my organization, I'm not very careful with them at all, so I'm okay with that. I've also got a couple stars left over from the Wooden Stars #2 pack that is in my shop. From the December box that unfortunately is no longer available, I have these labels here. I do end up switching them out for a lighter color, but that is what I have. I'm also going to be working with these for photos. They are different photos that my husband has taken throughout the season. I believe they're from last year though, and not this year, because this year we have no white stuff on the ground as of yet. I'm still crossing my fingers and hoping. I temporarily lost my little car, but I intended to put the car on this page as well, because you can see his tire tracks in most of the pictures. So I think that's pretty cool. From Paper Rose, the White Christmas Basics, I'm going to be using paper number E, which I cannot find it at the moment. Oh, there it is. Don't mind my ugly fingernails. Fingernail polish does not last very long on my hands, but you know, I'm too lazy to use that stuff that takes off the fingernails, so I'd rather them just flake off. And you'll see a little bit of my fingernail polish in your guys' orders too, because it got on the masking. Just peel the masking off and it'll be fine. I promise. They're not red on your actual images. I promise you guys. And then, of course, the wood grain is also from the White Christmas Basic Pack. It was paper number F. And so that is going to be my wood grain for Woodgrain and Winter. So I'm going to just cut off the branding strips. I'm a little disappointed that all the branding strips on this paper is all stripes, but then again, when they're all put together, they're different shades and tones of grays and blues, and I think that they'll make a really cool, not a layout, but a really cool accent to a layout if used all together, because they are the same element, just different shades and tones, and then you can stack them and layer them up. So it's a brain thing that's going on up inside my little melon, and it's an idea. That's what the brain thing is called. It's an idea. So I'm saving them all and putting them all off to the side because I have 3 so far, because this is my second wood grain that I've used from this collection. Okay, so I distressed the edges of just 3 because the other one is going to be tucked behind my pictures, and I did not want to put, I didn't need the bulk behind my pictures. And now I'm taking Hickory Smoke Distress ink and just inking up the distressed edges to define that edge just a little bit more, because I'm going to be putting it on a similar background and I didn't want it to get lost. Now I'm going to peel off all of my masking, and here I've always used my Gorilla Tape, and I wanted to share with you guys how easy it is to just use some, not pliers, but tweezers to peel off masking that don't have images on top. So if your wood piece has a lot of scoring, like my pieces over that have the title work done on it, that is going to definitely need some sort of duct tape, Gorilla Tape, frog tape, I don't know, the animal tape, right? But single images like this that don't have anything, or silhouettes, I should say, is what they're called, I can just use my tweezers and peel it off all in one layer. So it is a different method in case you guys do not have the animal tape, right? All right, so I'm taking Hickory Smoke and I'm just going to blend in my trees. That way they match the rest of the layout. Now I'm not too worried about blending the car or the saying, because I don't mind those guys not matching and popping a little bit off the page. Whereas the trees are going to be in the background, and I really want them to look like they belong on the page. And I do have to say that one tree is looking a little jaggedy, just because of the fact that the the adhesive on the back did not cut all the way through, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's all broken. So it's fine. The tree itself is cut. It's just sometimes the laser does not go all the way through into the adhesive sheet in the back. And I'm still working on why that is. So every now and then I have to just trim it away. And for my own pieces, I don't bother trimming it away. I just poke it out of its carrier sheet and call it good. And I don't do all the cleanup that I do for the pieces that are actually in the shop. Okay, so here's where I realized that I think that my labels matchy too much with my stars in my tree. Now my stars are actually done in pumice stone because I wanted them to be a shade lighter than the trees are. And then I went ahead and I picked out this almost juniper-y color of labels, so they're a little on the greener side because there's a little bit of green in my base piece, in my base page that I'm going to use for my foundation page or base page or whatever you guys want to call it, where all the elements are going to come together. That page. Okay, so I'm also distressing the edges of all of my labels only because it matches what I've already got going on, and plus the fact that if it doesn't cut out beautifully or perfectly, just distressing the edges and then it looks like it was meant to be. Honestly, distressing the edges is my favorite thing to do because it covers up all the mistakes. It really does. I'm going to distress the edges of all the photos as well. Again, just to give it that soft edging, I guess, instead of having it such a harsh line like, oh, here's my picture and bam, here it stops right here and it's going to go onto this wood grain. So I'm just feathering it out a little bit. I'm not going too hard because sometimes if I go a little bit too hard, then I will rip the photo right in half, and it's just photo paper, to be honest. I will end up ripping the photo right in half, and then I have to go and reprint, which is not a big deal. It does take a little bit of practice to go ahead and, use your distress tool. But honestly, I was just feathering the edges as opposed to distressing the edges. Okay, and I had to go ahead and trim up these ones here because when I print two pictures on one 4x6, the center border is not exactly equal on both sides because I have to cut it in half, and so then I have to trim down all the other three sides so that way the white border matches all the way. I know it's a technicality. It doesn't have to, but I choose it to. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put my wood grain just and flank it on both of my 4x6 large pictures. I just really wanted it to look like it was on a wood grain plank, and then you see the outlook of my husband taking a picture at the top of the mountain where his drills are, and then of course down below he took a picture of the sunrise actually, and you can see his tire tracks. I don't know if he's in the truck or if he just got out of the truck. I don't really know exactly what that bar is on the side of the right side of the photo. So it's illegible. Let's just call it that. And then of course the two pictures, they're clearly two different days. Actually, all of them are different days. If I'm being honest. But I really liked the idea of having this collage because one picture he is working for a company and the other picture he is working for himself. And so I thought this little saying is where I am today and where I want to be is absolutely perfect. So I put the photo where he was working for a company over on the side of where he was today. And then the photo on the right-hand side that says where I want to be is the photo where he is working for himself. Now he is his home boss. He drives his own truck and does all the things, settles his own contracts, all that stuff. So I absolutely love it. And then I know the car does not match what he is driving in these photos, but it is a driving layout, right? It is one of those, not driving in a vehicle, but driving in life type of layout. And so I thought it was kind of cool that at least the three layouts going across the two drills and the one in the middle all have tires on it. Now the one that is on the right hand side, you really can't see the tire tracks unless you get up close to see it because it got really foggy in that photo, but I can see the tire tracks. And so I think it is great that they are all having those tire tracks of where he is, where he's driving forward and what he's doing with him, with his business and all that stuff. So I'm super proud of my husband, you guys. I can't tell you enough how I think it's great. But of course, I loved this saying right here that says, stay humble, because it hasn't changed us. He being his own boss hasn't changed at all. It hasn't changed who we are. And so I think that, that this is the perfect title, absolutely perfect title for this layout, because, we are very humble in our success and, in his success. I say ours because all I do is, click a few keys on the computer and, act like I have a job. That's what I say about all my jobs, though. I feel like if you love your job, then it's not really a job, right? That's how I've always felt about jobs, because then it's not really a job, and you really don't have to try very hard to have it. So anyways, I really enjoyed being able to add the stay humble on this layout, just because it matches all of us to a T. We don't even treat it as if he has it. It's still normal, right? I know, even though he's his own boss, he still gets up, he still goes to work, he still, deals with the customer every day, just like he did working for someone else. And that's where we are still humble, right? So it is great. And I love the fact that other small businesses still call him and ask him to come and help out over there as well. So it's just a great place to be. We love it. All right, you guys. So that is my layout for today. I absolutely love how it looks. I love the monochromatic because I usually don't, but it definitely allows the photos to shine bright on this layout. I didn't do matchy-matchy to my photos. I did matchy-matchy to my supplies and then added my photos, and they just popped right off the page, and I absolutely love that. All right, don't forget to go check out Janet Fritz's channel, who is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube. She is also playing along with Woodgrain and Winter, and if you click in the video playlist, you will see other folks playing along as well, and check out their videos and see what they're doing with their Woodgrain and Winter layouts. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.